Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances, all rest to share Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. I welcome all of you to His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily call. Today we are going to continue the series of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 10th chapter, and verse will be 18 onwards. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances, all rest to share Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining and giving your time and association for all of us. I'll share my screen, Maharaj. You can start class, Maharaj. Yes, thank you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter, verse number 18. Udavas Satyakishchaivaham Yajane Paramat Bhute Giriyamanam Numai Rajamaru Pati Pati. Uddhava and Satyaki began to fan the Lord with decorated fans. And the Lord is the master of Madhu, seated on the scattered flowers, commanded them along the road. So here's a nice little radiation. The Lord is moving along the road. Flowers have been thrown all over him. He's sitting all over the flowers. Flowers are on top of him. Satyaki, one of the warriors in Battle of Kurukshetra, one of the on the Pandava side, and Uddhava, Krishna's very intimate friend and cousin, and very intimate associate, is fanning him with decorated fans, and the Lord is directing the procession. Okay. Asruyantas shitat satyaha tatra diver jitahaya nanurupa nurupastra nirgunasya gunatmanaha. It was being heard here and there that the benedictions being paid to Krishna were neither befitting nor unbefitting, because they were all for the Absolute, who is now playing the part of a human being. At places, there were sounds of Vedic benedictions aiming at the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. The benedictions were fitting in the sense that the Lord was playing the part of a human being, as if a cousin of Maharaj Yudhisthira, but they were also unfitting because the Lord is absolute and has nothing to do with any kinds of material relatives. He is nirgun, where there are no material qualities in him, but he is full of transcendental qualities. In the transcendental world, there's nothing contradictory, whereas in the relative world, everything has its opposite. In the relative world, white is the opposite conception of black, but in the transcendental world, there's no distinction between white and black. Therefore, the sounds of benedictions uttered by the learned Brahmins here and there appear to be contradictory in relationship to the absolute person, but when they are applied to the absolute person, they lose all contradictions, become transcendental. One example may clear this idea. Lord Krishna is sometimes described as a thief. He is famous amongst his pure devotees as Makana Chora. He used to steal money from the houses of the neighbors of Vrindavan in his early age. But since he is famous as a thief, but in spite of his being famous as a thief, he is worshipped as a thief, whereas in the mundane world, a thief is punished and never praised. Since he is the absolute personality of Godhead, everything is applicable to him in spite of all contradictions. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. Chaksun mulitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Dadasi Swam Padapitam. Nama Om Vishnu Madhya Krishna Krishna Bhutale. Sri Mahti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvasi Sansunyavadi. Paschyatyare Satarine Vanchakalpa Turubhascha. Vipa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama. When Krishna was in the area of Dwarka, there was one phony demon. His name was Pondraka. Pondraka was, he claimed that he was actually the Supreme Lord Vishnu himself. He would wear the symbols of Vishnu, he would dress up like Lord Vishnu. And he would also try to parade around and carry on as if Lord Vishnu did. When Krishna used to see him, he used to challenge Krishna, saying, I am the real Krishna, you're the phony one. Krishna would just laugh. And the goddess of fortune, Saraswati, and he would shoot all of these different ill sayings at Krishna, criticizing Krishna in different ways. But the goddess of fortune, Saraswati, would interpret those according to Krishna's own ideas as different ways to glorify Krishna. But although he was finding, apparently, from the words, he was finding fault, actually he was glorifying Krishna. Because everything in relationship to Krishna is glorifiable. Because Krishna is not material. So no material terminology applies to him. You're seeing here too, even if they give him material praise, it doesn't really apply in a sense, because he's not related to anything material. But because he is the absolute supreme personality, anything that is directed towards him actually becomes a sense of glorification. So when Pondraka would fire his different virtupitudes at Krishna, goddess of fortune, in the purports we would read, she would interpret it as different ways that he was actually glorifying Krishna rather than criticizing Krishna. Because you can't criticize Krishna because he's not part of this material world. And there's nothing criticizable about him anyway, because he is transcendental to everything. He is one absolute principle of absolute perfect qualities. Here, the example is given. He's a thief, apparently, and thieves get punished. But when Krishna steals, people enjoy it, and they praise him as Makana Chora. So everything is absolute in relationship to Krishna. Another example was Kamsa. When Kamsa found out that he was going to be killed by Krishna, he couldn't stop thinking of Krishna, but he was always thinking of Krishna in fear. And that fear would turn to hate also. But Kamsa was actually making spiritual advancement simply by thinking of Krishna, although the qualities that he was using to think of Krishna or to remember Krishna were considered to be qualities in the material world that were considered to be in the modes of ignorance. But because they were directed at Krishna, they produced benedictions in Kamsa. So he was really Krishna conscious, Kamsa. He couldn't stop thinking of Krishna, but he was always thinking of Krishna in a fearful way. So this is the absolute nature of Krishna. And Prabhupada wants to make this point here. And but still, it doesn't mean that one can use negative terminologies to glorify Krishna. The demons do that. But the devotees, they see they see Krishna exhibits all of these wonderful qualities. So they glorify him in that way. But still, it has nothing to do with him because he's above everything material. He is transcendental. He is the absolute principle of existence. Just like Arjuna didn't want to fight. He gave many good reasons why he shouldn't fight. And from the point of view of reason, Arjuna is glorified as being a soft-hearted Vaishnava. And that's mentioned. But because it was contrary to Krishna's desire, Krishna called him, he called him a pandita, meaning without any intelligence, a fool. Krishna called him a fool, although from the material point of view, what he was saying was absolutely in the mode of goodness. So how we see that we, as devotees, if we center our life all around Krishna, whether it's difficult or it's easy, these are incidental. Srila Prabhupada quotes Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Divya Satvika Bhuhir Ekeha Kuranandana, Bahu Sakya Yanatas Cha Buddhayo Vyavasahinam. This verse is from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2. I think it's verse number 43 or 42. I'm not sure which one. No, 41. Verse number 41, where Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur uses that verse and makes a very essential point. Where Vyavasa Vikya Buddhya Ekeha Kudunandana Ohusaka Yanitas Buddhya Visahinam. Eke one pointed, fixed on Krishna's instructions. In other words, one who is
Maharaj,
fixed.
you want to go to me to go to that verse?
Yeah, that would be good.
Yes.
241. And those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. Very important verse. In other words, those who are practicing devotional service, if they're fixed on the instructions of Krishna coming through the spiritual master, then they're Ekeha Kurunandana. They're Eke, they're one. They're focused. Let's see here, what does it say? Eke, only one. Buddhi, their intelligence Their intelligence is Vyavyasatmika, resolute in Krishna consciousness. In other words, they are, it's like when Dronacharya was teaching archery to the Pandavas, he put a clay bird high into a tree, and he drew a circle on the bottom, and then he called up Yudhisthira Maharaj first, and he told him, you stand in this circle, you look up in the sky, you pull back your bow, and then then he said, what do you see? Do you see the sky? Yudhisthira said, yes. Do you see the tree? Yudhisthira said, yes. Do you see the branches? He said, yes. And then Dronacharya said, sit down. So he removed him. And then he did the same with Bhima. Look up in the sky. Look up in the tree. Do you see the sky? Yes. You see the tree? Yes. You see the bird? Yes. Sit down. Then his best student was Arjuna. He came and he called Arjuna, stand in a circle, look up in the tree, pull your bow back. What do you see? You see the sky? No. You see the tree? No. You see the bird? No. What do you see? I see the eye of the bird. Shoot. And he said, Arjuna only saw the target. So this is Ekeha Kudanandana. This is Vyasmeha Budhir, Ekeha. In one focus. So this is what it takes to practice Krishna consciousness. One has to be focused completely on the instructions of the spiritual master as their life and soul. That there's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita also. One who makes the instructions of the life of the spiritual master their life and soul actually can perform devotional service effectively. So that's a nice example. And Srila Prabhupada would take this commentary by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who said about this verse that this one-pointedness is what it takes to be successful in devotional service. Maya is everywhere. You look left, you look right, you look up, you look down, you look behind, you look slightly left and or right, you look anywhere, Maya is there. But if you look straight ahead, there's Krishna. So that's what it takes to practice Krishna consciousness effectively, to have one-pointed focus on Krishna and on the devotional, on the devotee, on the instructions of the spiritual master. And Prabhupada would take this verse, commentary by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and Prabhupada said, I meditated on this verse when I was expanding my Krishna consciousness movement. I didn't look right, I didn't look left, I looked straight ahead. I didn't see all of the whatever else was going on. I simply focused on expanding Krishna consciousness. That's all. And because Prabhupada did that in such an exemplary way, we have today a very powerful spiritual movement. Because Krishna rewarded Prabhupada's determination and complete focus in the most wonderful way by bringing men, money, buildings, facilities, and so many other amenities that came by way of Prabhupada's determination to spread Krishna consciousness. And we see that even in the material world. When we see a materialist has that kind of focus on the projects they're doing, they become quite effective and also very successful in executing their desires. So this one-pointedness is very hard in this age because This age is called the age of distraction. There are so many ways, even within Krishna consciousness, to get distracted, such as we have our computers. So we like to surf the web and surf different areas of ISKCON's varieties of so many different things. Just seeing what's going on here, what's going on there, what's about to happen here, what has already happened there. But this can take away and will take away our determination in Krishna consciousness. So when it comes to electronic devices, I'm using that as an example, just one of many examples. We should use it only for becoming Krishna conscious, or only what is essential for our execution of devotional service. I use myself as an example. I only do emails. I use the computer to do these classes. And if I come across some philosophical teachings that are sent to me by others or through the emails or whatever, I put them into different categories, and then I have what we call a database, or a what is it called? There's a word for that, I can't think of it. I have a reservoir of different philosophical teachings, and if I need anything in those areas, I go to that. But I don't waste time going all over the web, seeing what's going on, who's doing this, what's this scandal, that. It's just a waste of time. And it takes away from our determination. So Prabhupada said, I had to walk through fire in order to spread this Krishna consciousness. But I never looked left or right. I kept my mind focused, or my attention focused on spreading Krishna consciousness. So this is what it takes to become Krishna conscious, to have one pointed attention. It's called, sometimes we use it, ekantaka, one who is one pointed, not many pointed. Yeah, here you see that the rest of this verse here on the, go back to the Bhagavad Gita verse. You see here, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So irresolute means not focused on a purpose, but many branched. This way, that way, this way, this way, that way. Jack of all trades, but expert at nothing. Now, this is this verse was, Prabhupada studied this verse and the commentary by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. You can read it in his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, where he expands on this more and more, that one pointed attention on the goal brings quick and very effective results. Okay, back to the text. So, yeah, so everything in relationship to Krishna is absolute, no matter how it may appear on the external feature like that. But the devotees, they focus on glorifying Krishna. They focus on serving Krishna. They focus on everything that is of the nature of devotion in relationship to Krishna. But sometimes the non-devotees, sometimes a person will be will be working as a carpenter or doing some construction, and they'll smash their finger or do something, and then they damn God because of that. Well, that is not good, because God is not a person to blame for whatever your own foolishness. That's obvious. But because they remember God when they smash their finger, they get the benefit of remembering Krishna or God. So that is the nature of the absolute. The benefit is, it has some benefit on all levels. Okay, so this is something we can think about, this focus on oneness. And there's no apparent, there's all the contradictions are only apparent. Krishna is above all contradictions. He's above all praise. He's above all blame. He is situated in his own glory. He has nothing to do with anything on the material level. But still, he accepts our loving devotional service.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much for this wonderful class. Thank you so much for such nice points. Yeah, we have to focus on Krishna. Our intelligence should be fixed on Krishna. So then only we'll achieve Krishna, or we'll understand Krishna. Yeah, that's good, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, if you have any questions or comments or realizations, you can please go ahead and unmute yourself and ask the questions.
I'll be right back. If you can formulate your questions, I'll be back in less than a minute.
That's good. Please turn on your cameras if possible. Thank you. Dear devotees, any questions or comments? Maharaj? Yes, Mataji. Maharaj is,
Should I let Gumash come, right?
I think so. Yeah, we'll wait one. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your lotus feet, all glories to the assembled devotees. Guru Maharaj, how should we understand the importance of focus or one-pointed determination, even if we are multitasking? If I, for instance, if I give you an example, like being a homemaker, we have to multitask a lot. So we are doing multitasking yet being focused. How do we understand that?
One who does their material duties as a service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in the mode of goodness. I just read that today in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So even ordinary household duties, if you're focusing on that this is a service to the Lord also, then you're cultivating the mode of goodness. It's not exactly transcendental. It has elements of the mode of goodness in there, but it is transcendental means when you do direct devotional service. But if you're doing household chores, or if your husband works in his job and he's using his job as a way to serve the Lord, these are all, this is called Gona Bhakti, and it's parallel to pure devotional service. It's in the elements of the mode of goodness. And that is acceptable. But just because you're a devotee and you want to become Krishna conscious and you have other things in your life that is your responsibilities, connect everything with Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. I think that quite well answers the question. Thank you.
This is Krishna's house. This is Krishna's table. This is Krishna's, whatever you're using, it belongs to Krishna anyway. This is my, in other words, anything you use or in connection with ultimately is the energy of Krishna. So you're doing it in order to maintain some kind of material requirements in order to live in this world. So, but do it in the mood of devotion to Krishna or direction towards Krishna. It's called Gona Bhakti, and it has elements. It's the elements of the mode of goodness. People who do the same thing for their own sense gratification are in the mode of passion.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dear devotees, any more questions? Good Maharaj, while others are thinking, I have a question like, so yeah, main problem is the focus. As Namrata Mataji said, we'll be always doing multitasking. Yeah, try to focus on what should we do. But the thing is, always we'll be reminding of what I have to do next, what I have to do next. Instead of focusing on the main thing, like I have to mainly focus on Krishna while doing all the other activities. Most of the time mind goes here and there and worries about what I have to do next, whether this work is finished by the time or not. So these anxieties come in between, Maharaj. Yeah, even I face this type of challenge.
Is your priority in life to be a good household lady with nice family and nice arrangements, or is your priority in life be Krishna conscious? That's a question I have. What's
Yes.
your
Yeah, definitely, Krishna conscious person is the first priority. Yes.
Yeah, so, okay, so because that's your first priority, it doesn't mean you stop doing everything else you're doing. You're just connected with Krishna, that's all.
Mm.
Even if you forget, even if you get absorbed in the activity, and somehow or other you forget why you're doing what you're doing, still, because your whole life centers around becoming Krishna conscious, it's still what we say parallel bhakti. It's acceptable. You know, many of our people in this material world are devotees, but they have occupations, they have families. Many of them go to educational institutions, but they connect things with Krishna. Try to connect things with Krishna as much as you can. That's even if you forget, it doesn't mean you're in Maya, because your goal is to become Krishna conscious.
Mm.
And then you'll also discriminate between what is necessary on the material level and what is extra. We won't be spending all day doing our material responsibilities. We'll do what is required, and then we'll use the rest of our time for direct devotional service. But they say, how a woman's work is never done. Family, the husband, children, the house. Don't forget Krishna, that's all. While you're doing all these things, you say, oh my God, Krishna, I got so many things I have to do in order to live in this material world. But please accept this as an offering to you, and also give me the intelligence to understand what is important and what is not important.
Yes, good much. Yeah. When I can't serve in my full capacity, sometimes Lord Jagannath DTC in my house. So I feel guilty at the end of the day. Well, I'm putting them to rest. I pray to them like, please forgive me. I couldn't serve in my best capacity today. Please give me. Please forgive me. I'll pray to them like that. So this guilty feeling will be there sometimes, most of the time.
That's good. That's good. We just like one of our devotees, I won't mention his name. He has Jagannath deities, small little Jagannath deities. And sometimes the deities will do something. Jagannath will fall over, or he'll throw his crown off. Or he'll do something just to get attention. Just to remind you that, I'm here, Of course, he likes to do that also. Some of you may know who I'm talking about, but it happens regularly with this devotee. He has a special relationship.
Great. Yes.
Sometimes the deity will fall down.
Yeah, special mercy from them. Yes. Maharaj.
Yeah, I had a god sister. She would take care of Jagannath and New Vrindavan. One time she would also cook for them and make up the plates, and then she would put it on the altar, do the offering, everything. So one day she was a little bit late, so she was doing really quickly to be on time. Finally, she finished everything, did the offerings, left the altar room. Then she heard crash. What is that? Went back on the altar and the whole plate was laying on the floor. Baladev threw the plate on the floor. He didn't want it. She had a special relationship with Jagannath. Everybody knows her. That was Landini from Vrindavan. Very special relationship. You could talk to them and they would talk back with her. Since he was very beautiful.
Thank you,
So,
Maharaj.
he's there, and beautiful. Don't think he's just some stone or idol or some little thing to decorate your room. It's not. It's God.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. Namrata Mataji, you want to make one more question?
Yes, thank you for bringing this up, Srimati Mataji. Yes, I do feel guilty as well. Sometimes when I'm sitting in front of my deities, I mean, I really feel I'm telling I'm talking to my deities that I'm really sorry I'm not able to, because of my impurities or because of my anarthas, I'm not able to serve you in my fullest way. So I do feel guilty as well. So thank you for that. So Guru Maharaj, I wanted to ask one more thing relatively. When we are busy with this household chores, I many times feel that since we have made the Excel sheet or we have a sheet that I make sure that I'm hearing the lecture of my spiritual master at least 10 minutes a day, or Prabhupada at least 10 minutes a day, reading shlokas from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita at least taking out 10 minutes a day. But somehow I feel it's not enough to put in this much time. I mean, then I feel an anxiety, and then I come up with something random in between that I pick up another book and start reading it, and then things. So in short, I mean, I'm not feeling enough. I feel that my reading, my hearing is not enough. So how should I prioritize things, or how should I schedule it in the form that I feel it should go?
Sit down at the beginning of the day. You take your rounds and just write down your schedule for the day. And then slot in a quality time for those things that you want to do. Reading, chanting, worshiping. Do a daily schedule. Don't do day by day. And once you get a routine going, then you can do it regularly. But yeah, write it down at the beginning of the day.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. I'll
You
try
can't
that.
say, at the end of the day, you can't say, oh, I didn't do it then, I didn't do it then, because you didn't make a schedule, that's all. That's the problem.
So so today when we were talking about 1 point focus, I was just thinking that if I make a schedule that let's say I'm just giving an example. If I'm reading Mukundmala Stotra, and if I prioritize that in my schedule, that I want to complete this much, and make other things in the second priority, is that fine, Guru Maharaj?
Well, Krishna consciousness consists of certain activities. And the foremost and most important is chanting our 16 rounds. That has to be given priority. Now, you have a child who's also dependent on you. You have to work your rounds in such a way as that you also have time for the child when the need is there. You have to determine that. I can't tell you what to do. All I can tell you is you see what your responsibilities are and you make we might call it a tentative schedule. It's not an absolute schedule. It means it can be adjusted as circumstances arise. But everyone who is efficient in any particular way of life is regulated. Those who are not regulated can't get anything done. The whole day goes on and they get one or two things done. Those who are regulated can do 100 times more things than a persons who are not regulated. Prabhupada was highly regulated. Highly regulated. That's why the guy was able to do so many things. Although he traveled, he still maintained regulation, even amidst the travel. Regulation, Krishna also talks about that, also in the Gita, the importance of regulation. A regulated life. It's good for health, it's good for efficiency, it's good for inspiration, so many things.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for telling the importance of the regulation. I'll prefer that. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, any more questions or comments? Thank you, Namata Mataji, for such nice question. Dhanvantri Prabhu, please go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, when you travel, how do you manage chanting?
You mean while traveling or?
Yes. Yes, when you travel.
Well, you have to start from someplace. So I never travel in the early morning hours of the day because I always dedicate those times for chanting. So I'll try to travel a little bit late. I usually never try to travel around till about 9 in the morning. Maybe when there's emergency a little bit earlier. I'll get my 16 rounds done before I start traveling. And then while I'm traveling, I also chant. And I carry a book with me when I'm traveling so I can read if I'm on an airplane. Or if I'm just traveling in the car, I'll chant japa.
But if it happens that you have to chant in a plane?
Plane, I chant, yeah. Sometimes I chant, sometimes I read. You might think it's difficult to chant in a plane, but you can do it.
So if people hear that we are chanting.
Well, on my long flights, I usually fly business class, so I'm not I'm not around other people. But on short flights, sometimes, especially in India, people in India, they know what chanting is anyway, so they don't really care. And I always dress in my dhoti when I travel, so people are not surprised if they hear me chanting. But I don't chant loud enough to disturb people. I try to avoid that.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good advice. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Revati Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So my question is, Guru Maharaj, you mentioned Kamsa is inimical towards Lord Krishna, but he was making spiritual advancement. So how should we understand, like, is inimical, but he was really Krishna conscious in a critical way? Could you please explain that?
It's obvious. I explained it. Think of any way you think of Krishna is Krishna consciousness. That's called Krishna conscious. Conscious of Krishna. In lust, in anger, in Pandraka was in Krishna conscious, in envy of Krishna. Krishna conscious. Conscious of Krishna. It has benefits. We don't recommend that for devotees. Devotees want to love Krishna. They don't follow the demons.
So if you think
They're Krishna conscious, but their mood is in the lower modes. That's all.
yeah, they still think of Krishna in a envical way.
Yeah, Krishna conscious. We told you that Krishna is not affected by anything. You praise him, he's not affected. You criticize him, you know he's not affected. We don't do that. We don't criticize him. We praise him for our own benefit. He's inclined to the devotee who loves him. Therefore, he reciprocates. And he reciprocates for those who approach him in a negative way too. He kills them. He killed Kamsa. He killed Pandraka. He's killing the demons today who don't like him. There are demons today who hate God. And then he just gives them the results of their karma, that's all. Material energy punishes them, that's all. Krishna is absolute. He's not affected by praise or blame. But he is attracted by love.
Okay, very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ilyana Mataji. You want to read your question on chat, or do you want me to read?
Hare Krishna, my humble obeisances. You read for me my reflection, not answer.
Okay.
Thank you much.
Mataji is writing, Hare Krishna. Yesterday I was reading Radhana Swami Maharaj's book back home, and I was greatly comforted by the description of Lord Krishna's body. Its qualities and even its appearance are truly transcendental. Just reading about him without having complete understanding lifted my heart. So Mataji wants to share her reflection or realization. Nice.
It's very nice. Molto bene, molto bene.
My heart is sollevato, is very high for reading to the transcendental qualities of the God. Because in this world, there are so much problem, duality, and only hearing the quality of God, the heart open my heart, but I think the description of the quality of the Lord open the heart of all people.
Yeah, because Krishna is in your heart. And by hearing about the qualities of Krishna, the heart becomes clear and you can experience Krishna in your heart. He's there. Yeah, and if the world would become Krishna conscious, then there would be no duality, no enmity, no envy, no violence, nothing. Everything would be wonderful. That's why we say, that's why our thing is to spread the glories of the Lord. So if you give the glories of the Lord to anyone, they will benefit. Gradually will open up their heart, because the heart is the seat of love. Love sits within, what sits in the soul sits on the heart. Yeah, so, yeah, very good. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
So
Thank you for sharing, Mataji.
tell more people about Krishna in the heart.
Thank you. Dear devotees, any more questions? Maharaj, I don't see any questions or any comments. We are almost at the end of the hour. So I guess I think we can end the call here if there are no more questions. Anybody have any last minute comments or questions? You can please go ahead now. Okay. Yes, Prema Bhakti Prabhu, please. Please unmute yourself. Yes.
Yes. Hare Krishna Maharaj, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, all glories to the devotees present in this call. Maharaj, just a quick one, tell you that, we was out on Harinam yesterday, after the class, I had to go. And during the Harinam session, everything was nice and everything, it's a city center. And this guy approached the actual book table and said, "Oh, can I have this book? Can I have this book?" I said, yeah. So I was going to tell him about, Krishna consciousness and everything, explain a bit about the philosophy. He said, "Oh, I haven't got time. I've just got a taxi parked outside." So he actually literally ran from the taxi, came out, got the book, and went back in. So I thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
Krishna
Yeah.
consciousness on the run.
Yeah, Krishna consciousness, well, exactly. Yeah, but we do Harinam weekends, and just the presence in Manchester, the people around is so taken to it. They're just stopping by, looking, with dancing with them, and doing even the kids are participating in this and so on. So it's really it's so nice having everybody just coming together and just being happy.
Yeah, have more programs, invite people to come to the programs, and that way you can connect them more with Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, we tended to get a lot of.
When you give them a book, or when you meet somebody and they become favorable, that's a planting of seed. But planting of the seed is nice, but you need to water the seed, because if it doesn't get watered, sometimes it doesn't grow. And it won't grow on its own. So that's why we want to get the devotees together and organize programs to invite the public more and more. Public programs or temple programs, harinams, various types of educational programs. Just to do a little book table here and there is good, and it's necessary, but we want to move forward and actually do something in a real way to change people's heart, change life first. So I see a lot of times, our society is very good at planting seeds, but we're not so good at watering seeds.
Yeah, the water. Yeah. Mm,
So we
yeah.
need to do that more. That means more programs.
Yeah. But this program, you know, the Harinam that we're doing is Dayananda Swami. He's actually said, you know, we've got to get out there and make ourselves present. You know.
That's important. Yeah, Harinam is very important. But then again, have programs during the week. Don't be a weekend warrior temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just work the whole weekend on Sunday. And God, Sunday is God's day. The other 6 days for working.
Yeah. 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 I tend to go out on Tuesday,
just like in London. In London, for example, London is flying. You can go every night. There's a program somewhere. Sometimes it was actually said that there are 10 programs going on every night in London.
Wow.
Somewhere in London. So you're right near London. Go, you know, you should be just like your sister city there, your older sister.
Mm.
So don't be lazy. Start having programs. Once a week, Krishna consciousness doesn't get it. We need to do it every day.
Yeah. Mm.
Just like I mentioned that if we have a congregation, every congregational member can take 1 day a week and sponsor a particular program. And then you can have programs on every day of the week. And people, even if 2 or 3 people will come. Once you start doing it regular, people will continue to come. People will start to invite their friends. Krishna consciousness works is that you have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
See for programs.
Yes. Also, Maharaj, this is one thing I want to do. You know, with the house here as well. I want to get it prepared so that I can invite, you know, friends outside to just come and just have a kind of informal, you know, chat, just listen to.
Well, you have to educate people. You have to educate people in the philosophy. We have so many books. Write them in. Give them a class on the Bhagavad Gita. Give them a class on just some general topic that is relevant to a people's lives in the material world. You can connect it to Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. Definitely.
You can't be weekend warriors. It's not going to work. It doesn't work. And there's a lot of cities around the world where they just do Krishna consciousness on the weekend, and the rest of the week it's work and family. That's all.
Yeah.
But that's not going to work. Not in this age of Kali when Maya is so strong. You have to have constant opportunities for people to come, and you have to be thinking of different ways to attract people. Harinam is one of the most powerful and effective ways. I'll give you an example. Here's an example. This was in one city. One of my senior godbrothers, he went to one preaching center. This was in a place called Athens, Ohio, a college town. So we had a preaching center there in one section of the town, and the rest of the town was mostly college kids. And so he came, and he was there in the morning, and there was a program scheduled that night. So he said, "How many people will come tonight for the program?" There wasn't any direct answer. Then he said, "Well, how many people are coming for your regular programs?" He said, "Well, only a few people are coming, Maharaj. We get about maybe half a dozen to a dozen people." And then the Swami said, "Are you going out every day? Are you going out every day?" They said, "No." He said, "All right, today let's all go out." So he got the whole temple out. And they went out to do Harinam and distribute flyers. So no, mostly they were just distributing flyers, not even doing Harinam. They were just distributing flyers, inviting people to the program in the evening. So they all went out, including this Swami, distributed flyers all day, came back. That night, 45 people came. So then
Yeah.
the sannyasi, now wait a minute, I'm not getting to the point. The sannyasi said, how many of you today received a flyer from us for this program? Not one person who came that night received the flyer.
Oh,
Not one. You get the point?
word of mouth going out there.
No, not word of mouth, it's Krishna.
Krishna.
And Krishna sees you are trying
Yeah.
to bring people in. He will inspire them within the heart. Hey, there's a program going on. Let's go. It's Krishna. You make the effort, Krishna will bring the results.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the flyer. It was because the devotees tried hard that day to inspire people to come. And the fact that nobody got the flyer was incidental. The fact that they tried showed that Krishna reciprocated.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes,
Yes,
you guys know, if you just stay once a week in your little, like little safety zone and don't do anything and chant your rounds and feel happy about how Krishna conscious you are, you'll never understand this process, nor will you able to benefit others. This is a preaching movement. It's not a chapati flipping movement. It's a preaching. We have to, we want to inspire people by giving them more and more opportunities to come. We have different seminars, programs, yoga places, go out. We think of different ways to reach people. When the lockdown was on, book distribution went on like it never went on before, even during the lockdown. And even in America, when the lockdown was really strong, and even in London. Why? Because the devotees who were distributing books, they thought of different ways to get books to people who were not coming out of their house. They did it by mail order. They did it by various types of attractions, getting people interested in books and then sending them books through the mail. So yeah, if you have that desire to expand Krishna consciousness, Krishna will show you so many ways. You won't be able to keep count.
Yeah. Yes, Maharaj, that's true. Yeah, there's many times on the book table where you kind of lose interest, but all of a sudden, you say, Krishna, just please help, and then something happens miraculously. You get someone there. So yes, Krishna definitely reciprocates.
If Prabhupada just stayed in India and was just praying to Krishna, this people Krishna conscious in the United States, it would have never happened. He went out, he crossed the ocean, he got 2 heart attacks. He practically died, and he undergo a lot of difficulties reversing. But he had a mission. Our mission is Prabhupada's legacy. We have a duty to serve for Prabhupada by trying to bring Krishna consciousness to others. That's our duty.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Nandini Radha.
Yeah, Nandini Radha Mataji. You had your hand up previously.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances, Maharaj. Maharaj, how are you?
Haven't seen you in a long time. You've been on vacation. Huh?
I know, Maharaj. Sorry, I've not been coming to the call. It's just been really busy with everything. Yes, Maharaj.
No excuse.
I know, no excuse, Maharaj, definitely. And that's why, Maharaj, I wanted to ask, a follow-up question on what Mataji was saying, Namartha Mataji, about that it gets so busy and you just don't know what should you do and what should you not do. So Maharaj, it's the story of my life. I want to do everything. I want to go to the temple every morning, do my rounds in the temple, cook nice prasadam for the deities, do my office work, but at the same time, cook nice fresh meals for the deities and the kids. So I just don't know. And it gets overwhelming. And then sometimes then Dhira's just saying that, just take shortcuts when it's cooking. Don't make elaborate meals. You don't have to make all this fancy food. And I don't like doing that, Maharaj. I want to make nice prasadam. And I'm always thinking, oh, what would Krishna like to eat today, And what would my son like to eat as well? So it's just hard, I find it really, I don't know what to do. And then I'm dropping kids, going straight to the temple. But by the time I come home, then I'm not spending time with my own deities because then I'm straight to the laptop. So I don't know, Maharaj. I just feel
Welcome to Kali Yuga. Welcome to the material world. That's why Srila Prabhupada wanted community. He wanted community. He wanted families to bind together as a community and work together to share resources, share work, share whatever we have to share with each other that we can benefit each other. Community is the foundation by which we can push away all of this, what we say, time-wasting energy. Yeah, so, I mean, that's a big thing. It doesn't give you an immediate solution. But they say if you cook khichdi, it tastes better the second day.
I don't like eating or serving leftovers to anybody.
I know you don't. Second day khichdi is better than the first day khichdi.
Khichdi, I think, Maharaj, only once a week. I can't offer khichdi more than that to my deities and to my kids.
Make a fancy khichdi.
Yes, Maharaj, maybe I need to do that. That's what always Dhira is saying, that you have to think and see where can you actually, save some time, because I'm always focusing on my chanting, and that's why I love to go to the temple and do at least 8 to 10 rounds in front of the deities, because I just love it, the energy you get, and it's just so nice. But then when I come home, then I'm not able to attend my deities, because then I'm straight to the laptop, and then I'm straight cooking, cleaning.
Well, you could avoid cooking in the evening if devotees would get together and have programs. Well, that's there in London. Every night you can do a program, and then you take prasadam there. And you don't have to cook every night. You go to other programs, but the idea is after a whole day's work, you want to go to your home. It's not like you want to go somewhere else.
Maharaj, if you're going to someone else's house, then also you take some prasad. You always cook. At least I cook. I think I'm always nominated to bring some nice prasadam. So with that, cooking is not an excuse for me.
You've been cursed because you cook so good. That's why.
No, Maharaj. So Maharaj, I think I just need some blessings, because I think I just want to do more, and I just want to be, spending more time reading books. I don't think I'm doing enough.
Talk to today. Today is Radhika's birthday. You know that.
You mean Kirti Radhika Mataji?
Yeah, today is her birthday.
Yeah, we're giving her a surprise party today.
Oh, okay. So, okay, surprise party. All right, so today, today you had to cook everything for the surprise.
Yes, I'm cooking for her today. Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. But then again, tell her that tomorrow she should give you a surprise party. or you can, in the congregation, you can just show up over somebody's house and say, I've been working all day. Can I come for lunch? Can I come for supper at your house?
Yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, I don't mind cooking, Maharaj. Actually, I love cooking. It's not about that. It's just about getting some blessings from you so I can just focus more on bhakti, and eventually I just don't want to work. Because I love cleaning the house, organizing the house, going to the temple, cooking
You
my
want
prasadam.
you want my blessings to not work?
Yes, Maharaj, they will work. Yes.
Okay. I shall offer sincere prayers that you won't have to anymore sell your soul to the external energy. I'll give you some sincere prayers and I'll leave it up to Krishna to do the rest. He may do something, he may not do something, or he may do something that you don't expect. I will do that. I won't do it right now, but at the end of the program, I'll offer some sincere prayers. You will have quality time where you can to fulfill your desire to show your love for Krishna more and more through chanting and worshiping and teaching your family also to do the same.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. That would be amazing.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for sharing that. Raj Prabhu, you want to go ahead?
Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to yourself, all of the Vaishnavas. Maharaj, I wanted to ask you a question that we regularly get non-devotees coming and offering us like fruits, different types of fruits, and often many of them want us to offer them to the Lord. And if many of them actually ask for Bhagavad Gitas as well. And I just wanted to check that, is it okay to accept fruit from anyone and then just offer it?
Yeah. Krishna says, Patram Pushram Phalam Sayam Yomi Bhakti Panashiti Saraham Bhakti Padatam Asnami Bhayatat Maraha. Offer me a leaf, a flower, fruit, and water with bhakti, and I will accept. If they want to offer some fruit to the Lord and they're giving it to you, so when it's time to offer food items to the Lord, and you can include those items, and just say that there are some, you can say, my dear Lord, some very nice people, they had brought this wonderful fruit to be offered to you. They want to show their devotion to you, so please accept this fruit on their behalf. You make a prayer on their behalf, and then you offer to Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah. We are instruments for other people's bhakti. Because we are doing bhakti, people come to us to offer their bhakti, and we accept whatever they want to offer, and we can offer it as long as it's offerable.
Thank you. I'll do that. Thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Dear devotees, any last questions or comments? Okay. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much for your wonderful association and nice question answer session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for participating. We'll end the call here now. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaj ki jai. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees.
Hare Krishna.